The rise and fall of Oliver Anthony. It's a little bit of an exaggeration to say the fall. What we're looking at is a meteoric rise effectively overnight for a dude who's not accustomed to this level of fame and finance. And the fall is a bit minor, but it's there. I don't want to be too hyperbolic in saying it because a lot of people are, going to take it to mean I think the dude will cease to exist or will fizzle out or something. No, Oliver Anthony is going to be here for a while, but things will normalize. The massive amount of attention he's getting will begin to wane, and then he'll find his plateau, which is great. I'm really excited for the guy. I wish the best for him. I think he's a good dude. But there's a lot in this story about his canceled show and the backlash he's receiving that gets into the world of fame and industry. And there's just a lot that I really want to talk about pertaining to this. For those that didn't see the story, we did talk about it a little bit last night on IRL. Oliver Anthony was going to play a show at a venue called Cotton Eyed Joe. The event was canceled after Oliver Anthony noticed the ticket prices were going to be $90 to $200. The $200 mark is for his meet and greet, and the $90 were for general admission. The venue stated that it's what he wanted. They said that it was a contract to perform for 1 hour for $120,000. And to make that work, you've got 1,500 people who can come to the venue, who can fit in the venue. And if you're going to cover the cost and make it work, it's $90 a ticket. Here's what I think happened. More information has come out since we talked about it, because these posts are back from a couple days ago, I believe. It seems that Oliver Anthony made a mistake. He talks about how he brought on his buddy, who's a full-time plumber, to do his booking. Mistake. His buddy didn't understand what he was getting into, and thus it resulted in high ticket prices. Oliver Anthony made a mistake. I can respect that. I really do. I think the song's fantastic. He's getting heat, and I feel so bad. Look, I tweeted that I feel bad for Oliver Anthony. I genuinely mean it. For many of you sitting at home with your acoustic guitar, writing a song, and wishing that you could reach the level that he has, you're probably thinking like, why feel bad for the guy? He's got everything. From my point of view, and I totally respect that point of view, I think you're correct, right? He's in a much better position than he's ever been. From my point of view, I understand being thrust into the limelight and then having a bunch of people just hate you for no reason. And you're like, man, I didn't even ask for this. It's just, it happened. But it happens. A lot of people don't really get it. When you go from mundanity, I suppose, and I don't mean that with disrespect at all. When you're just walking around minding your own business, your own person, and then all of a sudden everyone knows who you are, people literally will just randomly try to kill you. It's nuts. But I want to talk about this because personally, I see a lot of similarities in the experiences I have and have had throughout my career. And I think it's interesting how people are talking about and treating Oliver Anthony. There are a lot of people tweeting that he's subpar, he's a bad musician, that we should have known better, that he's a communist. And I'm like, dude, chill. That's why I feel bad. It's like, come on, man. Look, when I first gained followers on Twitter and I'm being inundated by people threatening my life, insulting me, it was jarring. I got over it very quickly because I understand. I've seen so much in my life when it comes to celebrities and stalking, but I was never on the receiving end of it. When it started happening in small scale after Occupy Wall Street, I was like, wow, is that what they were talking about? Well, the best thing you can do is just ignore it because it doesn't affect you. They will lie about you. They will steal from you. They will cheat. There are people who will make things up. I mean, let me just look to Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling understood the fake news when she has that Rita Skeeter character lying about what Harry's saying. It's the craziest thing. Most people, I don't think, really understand what it's like when you open up a news article and there's a story about you and it's just not true and they're lying about you and you're like, damn, what do you do? And then you've got people threatening you and they're mad at you and there's nothing you can do about it. Let's break down this story. And then I want to talk about the industry stuff and maybe help give you some inside baseball insight on how we set up events, how much it costs, how it operates. Because I often think people do not explain this. I saw a video of Taylor Swift today, and it's like a video of her at some event. I don't know what she's doing. And someone said Taylor Swift doesn't. Phil Labonte retweeted it. They said Taylor Swift doesn't seem to know how to have fun, and Phil said she's doing fine. And here's what you need to understand. When you see a video of a celebrity like Taylor Swift, and she's at a party and she's all gussied up and dressed nice, and she's like, dancing lightly while drinking, she's at work. And there's so much behind the scenes to how they plan out these events. Look, man, I'll tell you this. You see a video of a celebrity at a party and you're like, man, I wish I could be doing that. It's so much fun. I'm like, dude, they're at work. It would, and I'm willing to, it's like the prince and the pauper. Some of these people are looking at you in the fields, just like, you know, pulling weeds. And they're like, they're so lucky, man. Sometimes I wish I could just do that. But granted, I'm not so naive to think that it's much easier in life to have to party and deal with social stress than it is to do back-breaking physical labor, which destroys your body. I'm just saying, understand, it's not all peaches and cream. So here's the story. And Oliver Anthony responded. He said, Cotton Eye Joe has been canceled. Ultimately, it's my fault for not being more directly involved in the venues who have reached out. My plate has been full and I delegated the responsibility to someone else to help me book. I'm not pointing fingers at Cotton Eye Joe. I don't know where the miscommunication took place. I'm just upset seeing those prices. We will find another place in Knoxville. And so ultimately what ends up happening, he finds another event. He joined Papa Roach Shinedown for to play a few songs in a car park at the rain-affected Blue Ridge Rock Festival. Did they say he played with Papa Roach instead? Yeah, no, he played with Papa Roach at a different time. My understanding is that he found a different venue, in Knoxville, and they fixed it. Here's the story. Let me play a quick clip of this from Oliver Anthony for you guys. Oh, I always do that. I got to fix the audio. Sorry, guys. It's never set properly.
My adrenaline's pumping, man. I'm pissed off right now. And don't buy Cotton Eye Joe tickets for $99 a piece. And sure as hell don't buy VIP passes for whatever bullshit price they're on. I have a buddy of mine who's not a booking agent. He's a friend of mine. He's a full-time plumber. And I'm trying to hire him full-time as my booking agent. And he agreed to the show, I guess, without asking for what the ticket prices are. Don't pay $100 for a ticket. That's horseshit. If we've got to cancel the venue and play somewhere else, we will. I didn't agree to it, and I don't want you to pay it. So please don't. I'm just trying to get the word out now. I don't know when the event got posted, but just hold off for a little bit.
I'm sorry, man. I like the dude. He's a cool dude. I can certainly understand he's dealing with this world of chaos that he did not expect. But I'm just going to say it. Canceling on Cotton Eye Joe was the wrong move. If it was anyone else, I'd call them a dirtbag. But Oliver Anthony is just inexperienced in this, and I mean no disrespect to him when I say this. I just say, like, I think you made a mistake, my friend. Yo, that venue did work when you requested that. When you guys made the mistake and saw those high prices, I believe that Oliver Anthony's statement should have been, guys, we just saw the high prices. My heart's racing. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of playing shows at that price. The price should be lower. I hired my buddy to do booking. I don't know where the miscommunication was. If you want to come to an event at that price, please feel free to do so. I don't want to cancel on the people who have already shown up. You see, let me just slow down. What should have happened is Anthony should have explained the situation, said, it is not my intention to charge exorbitant ticket prices, but he should not have canceled on those who did want to pay that to come. He should not have canceled on the venue who was putting in work to make that event happen. It is not wrong to perform at a high ticket price. If Oliver Anthony said, I'm going to be doing a one-on-one solo, look, I'll put it this way. If a major corporation hit up Oliver Anthony and said, we love your song, we love the message, would you be willing to do a private show for us and the corporate executives? Private event, we're not going to publicize it, we'll pay you $100,000. Yes, no question. He says yes. Really? Wow, that's amazing. Companies do this. They've done it. I know people who have gotten this. There are tons of bands where you look, rich people exist and they're fans of music. Think about your favorite band. Would you be willing to pay to have a private show between you and your friends? Of course you would. If you were worth $50 million and you had a bunch of liquid cash just sitting around and millions of bucks, you'd be like, I can drop $50,000 to have my favorite band of all time play for me. Now, if it's like your favorite band is Metallica, good luck, because that's going to be a lot more money. My point is, man, excuse me, I just frog in my throat all day. My point is, some people are willing to pay that money to see the show. Go for it. Like canceling the show, I'm going to tell you what happened. Somebody lives in the area and planned on going. They bought tickets. They did not hear the show got canceled. They're going to show up and be like, wait, what happened? because people don't all follow the news. They don't all follow Oliver Anthony. There's probably someone who, like a girlfriend, knows that her husband's a huge fan of the guy with the song. You know, he's got a bunch of really great songs. I think it's unfair to say he's a subpar musician. That's ridiculous. Oliver Anthony is actually a cream of the crop, top of the top musician. And people who think that music is supposed to be the most intricate, arpeggiated guitar don't know music. This dude made the most delicious cookie dough ice cream you could buy, and everyone wanted to buy it. Then other people are like, it's trashy ice cream anyway. Sour grapes, get out of here. Music is not about just being the best singer in the world. There's tons of singers who suck, and you know it, and they're famous rock stars. But anyway, there may be some woman got tickets for her husband as a surprise, and then doesn't follow any of this. Saw the show, said a couple $100 for a big theater, big venue. Sounds awesome. He cancels on her. She misses it. She gives the tickets to her husband, who's like, oh, dude, they canceled this, man. She gets a refund for sure, but they don't get to go to the show. I don't like the idea of last minute abrupt shift like this. I think what he should have done is just said, I didn't realize it was going to be like this, man. I hired my buddy. You know, that's what he was saying in that video. Did I play it or?
I had to pull off on the side of the road and make this video.
Yeah, he mentions, okay. He mentions he hired his buddy who's not experienced. Yo, you can't do that, man. I'm not going to insult the dude for making a mistake. You know, if he ends up seeing a video like this, you know, I mean no ill will. Just he'll learn from this, and I respect that. Everybody does. Hiring booking agents is not something your plumber buddy can just do. You know, I know so many people who think, you know, look at that song by the Dire Straits, Money for Nothing and the Chicks for Free. The story goes, apparently these guys were like hanging out at a Best Buy or something, and they saw the workers there watching a music video of the Dire Straits saying like, man, that's the way to do it, huh? Money for nothing and the chicks for free. Dude, it's a lot of work creating that art, being in the recording studio. It's brutal. That's why so many of these rock stars do drugs and end up ODing or killing themselves. It is a merciless and brutal job. Hey, man, you are rich, but karma exists. The world is not so simple. Sure, there are a lot of people who are better off than others. Some people deserve it. Some people don't. We can make those arguments. There are a lot of people who are like, man, I want to do your job. You probably do. Fair point. Some of you do. But I work like 16 hours a day. I have very little time off, if any, ever. And then I have people saying like, I don't know how you do it. Well, if you're wondering how we've built something so big, how we have a castle, we call it the Castle, how we've got a skate park. Yeah, it's because I work 16 hours a day, every day. And for 3 years, I took 0 days off. 0. I'm not exaggerating. 0. I would do Monday through Friday, morning show and night show, Saturday and Sunday, morning show. No days off. None. I'm sorry, that was for about a year. The 2 years before that, I just worked straight Saturday through Sunday, nonstop, doing the morning show every day with no days off. And you work that hard, you run as fast as you can on that treadmill, you get ahead. But back to Oliver Anthony. What he's going through now, let me show you some tweets. Top Lobster, we've had him on the show, he said, this guy is more of a fraud than I originally thought. Because Cotton Eye Joe said he canceled on us, right? Be careful booking him. Bro, Oliver, you really screwed over these guys. And I'm bummed by that. I know you didn't mean to, but you really screwed these guys over by canceling them on them like this. I don't know how long they had the event planned. Oliver Anthony's, of course, been only around for like a month or two or whatever. But venues put in a lot of work. Let me give you some insights before we go on to the next tweets. We did an event in Austin. The venue costs money. Staffing costs money. Equipment, transportation, hotels. For us, we had to get an Airbnb, and you watch Timcast IRL. We're in a living room on couches doing the podcast to keep costs down. I said last night that I think we lost maybe like 10 grand doing that event. I'm told that it may be closer to 25,000. Wow. And that was just the event. We sold tickets for $125. And on the event itself, not including the extraneous costs like our studio and accommodating our staff, it was probably like 10 grand. Then you factor in all the salaries and everything we have to do to be in Austin for that week. It's another like 15 grand. But you know what? That's what I spend money on. When you guys become a member at timcast.com, that's the goal. Like, what am I? So I've got 25 grand going towards the business. What do I do with it? Do I buy a car or something? Well, you know, I pay myself a salary. And yeah, I buy nice stuff. But I'm like, I have no problem taking a loss of, say, 25K on an event like this if it makes something cool happen that builds culture. We're doing an event in Miami. Go to timcast.com. I hope to see you at the event in Miami with Patrick Bet-David, Donald Trump Jr., Matt Gaetz, me, Luke Rudkowski, Ian Crossland, and a big group of other guests. We've sold a fair amount of tickets. We need to sell a lot more. And oh boy, this one's expensive. It's a theater, my understanding is. It's taken like 9 months of planning to get to this point. We're charging $175 per person. I'm stressed a little bit about it because I know it's expensive. And I'm like, man, it's a lot of money for this event. It is, however, like once a year thing. We've sold a decent amount of tickets so far. Maybe I think we're around like 30% sold. We're selling at a comparable rate to the first event, but we're doing a much bigger venue. And so we really need to sell the tickets. I'm hoping we can. Otherwise, wow. Guys, events like this cost six figures, right? I think it's going to cost like $100 and something thousand to put on an event like this. And it's rough. We're thankful to Public Square. They came in to sponsor the event, and we're good. The ticket sales alone probably get us close to break even, maybe a little bit more or less. I think probably would put us under. And we're charging $175 per ticket. I'm not going to play this game where I'm like, ticket sales should be cheap. What I see here with Oliver Anthony is that he doesn't understand. In this post he made on Facebook, he said, I will work to get your tickets refunded from my own budget. We'll find another place to do a $25 ticket and free meet and greet. Dude. I saw that with a smile on my face. I'm like, you get it, bro. Get it. A meet and greet for free. I wish, man. I wish. Dude is more famous than me by a long shot. I think it's fair to say. I don't know. And it's a weird thing to say. Like, I don't know how you actually measure that, but I'm willing to bet more people know who this guy is in 1 month than me in 10 years. A lot of people may have heard of me passively, but this guy's got fans. Bro, I can barely handle meet and greets. That's why I don't do a lot of them. I don't think people get it. I love meeting people on the street. I love people coming up and saying, hey, man, I'm a big fan, and they shake my hand. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm doing something good. Because almost every single interaction I've had with the public when people are like, my fan of your show has been positive. But boy, I tell you what, you do a meet and greet and you get even 100 people. After we do an event and I'm coming off stage and there's a line of like 100 people who want to meet me, that is insanely difficult. I wish I could meet everybody, but just think about it. How many conversations can you really have? How to get to the core of all of it? But we try, because I totally understand that it's all of you who each provide that, you know, light as a feather, stiff as a board, that one finger where you can lift up a body when everyone does it, and it makes what we do work. But I saw that and I was like, good luck, bro. Seriously, I do mean it. But I think it's going to come to a point where he's like, I can't do that anymore. I can't do that. And he'll learn. He will. You know, he said he wants his events to be cheaper, $25. Man, I wish we could do that. But it's like, it's been 9 months of planning to get everything set up to where it is right now with the event, trying to confirm and coordinate. We have full-time staff dealing with coordinating one event for the year, just one, and they get a salary. And then we've got to like factor in all of the work they've done throughout the year. I gotta be honest, even with the sponsorship from Public Square, we're huge fans, by the way. I think we're probably breaking even on the Miami event because we have full-time staff. We have assets and everything that we have to pay for. We have maintenance. We have transportation back and forth throughout the year, coordinating this stuff. It is, you know, it's a lot easier for Oliver Anthony. I'll be honest, when he's acoustic set. But for these venues, everything we are getting set up, they have to maintain throughout the whole year, which means if they only did one event, they'd be spending millions. So they get all the equipment, have to maintain it, hire the staff and the engineers, and then throughout the year, each show coming in, they handle the logistics. The show can come in. It's much easier. It's a well-oiled machine. I feel bad for Cotton Eye Joe because I know what we go through in setting up events, and having Oliver Anthony cancel on him basically just pulled the rug out from under him. And the insinuation is that these guys at Cotton Eye Joe were trying to make a quick buck. I'm willing to bet Cotton Eye Joe was breaking even on the event at $90 a ticket and $200 for a meet and greet. You do the math, 1,500 seats, $90. We're looking at just around like 120,000, which is what the contract was going to be. They're hoping they'll probably lose money, but they make money on booze. That's how they do it. Most venues are going to lose money on the show, but they're going to make money on the booze. The idea is if you come and perform, you will bring people. Those people will buy alcohol from us. We make money. The entertainer makes the money from the customers, from people buying the tickets. Sometimes the house gets a small cut, but a lot of these bigger guys are like, we want more than ticket sales. But the venue might be like, hey man, we're going to sell 20 grand in booze. So we pay this band 100 grand. We sell the tickets for $90 each. That covers the cost of the crew, the maintenance, security, insurance, the performer. We have to pull 10 grand out of our pocket to cover the difference, but we're going to make 20 grand in booze. That's a 10K night profit for the venue. That's a good deal. What we end up seeing is, and I'm not going to show like the worst of the worst. Nuance Bro says, I said in August, I don't think that song by the Red Bearded Dude is the best thing since sliced bread. He tweeted today, I see more of y'all are coming around to my OG skepticism about this song and the man behind the song. He's not doing himself any favors as of late, and y'all made him the second coming, LOL. This is one of the lighter criticisms. There are people who are really insulting the guy, saying he's subpar. That, people are mentioning now that his songs are popping up on Pandora because of his fame. They're saying like, wow, that one song and its message resonated, but his songs popping up on Pandora, ooh, it's not that good. I'll tell you this. I think Oliver Anthony's made a plethora of mistakes, and I don't blame him. You take a regular dude who's jamming out in Appalachia, and you make him Billboard Hot 100 #1? Yeah, come on. How do you handle that? He's a good musician. Music is a product. It's an art, but it's a product produced by a person with the intent of being sold in most instances. Now, you may try to be a purist and say, no, man, I don't make music for those reasons. I make music for the heart and the soul. Come on. Be a purist, fine. I don't care. Some people, make sculptures for the art. Sure, some people make tables for the art. That's fine. But music is something you're making for someone else. Product doesn't mean bad. Capitalism's not bad. These venues want to make money. We're capitalists. They should make money. They should profit. Profit's not bad. I can't stand this worldview. If I work on a song, putting my talent, my blood, sweat, and tears into my art, it is to make something someone else wants. And then money is a representation of the value you produced being traded for an individual so that you can continue to do your work. It's a good thing. Oliver Anthony is producing a product. He has produced such a good product and a handful of other ones that he's taken the nation by storm. To say he's bad at what he does is wrong. However, people need to understand that we are not in the same kind of era as we used to be. When I put on Pandora, the music I listen to, what are the songs that pop up typically? What do we have? I've been listening to some Shiny Toy Guns from like 10 years ago. I love the song You Are the One. And La Disco's a classic. So that one came back up in my feed. What else do we got? I got Rasputin by Boney M. Talk about good. That's Netflix's fault. But then we've got a bunch of Three Dog Night, some ABBA, old stuff. That stuff just plays. Dancing music. And then I've got stuff like Big Data is a good band. They got some songs from like 10 years ago. Big Data and Dangerous are good songs I really like. If Richmond North of Richmond popped up on my feed while I was listening to Pandora, I would skip it. Why? The music I listen to is for a particular reason. What else do I have? Soundgarden. It's like typically the music I play will be skating, and we want some fast, bop, 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 skate jam kind of music. It ain't going to be folk. It might come up. There might be a few songs that I would let play. But if his music came up, it's not the kind of stuff I'm going to listen to, despite knowing that, or knowing like most of the words to Richmond North of Richmond and liking the song. What I mean to say is, in today's era, politics plays a huge role. I have music, and it's partially political, because I don't want to make political music. Will of the People was like the biggest song we released, and we released it completely improperly. It kind of bums me out, because I know that if we released it properly, it probably would have been a lot bigger than it was, but it did really well. And the songs we put out since then have done really well, but not nearly as well. Well, I mean, I guess technically the proper release of our song Only Ever Wanted charted. But my view is like, I'm not going to make a song called FJB. That's not music people want to listen to sing along to. It's a political message. And what happened with Oliver Anthony is that he released a political message. That's his song. Rich Men North of Richmond resonated with people for its words. That's not something you want to hear on Pandora when you're trying to jam out and listen to some Metallica or some, Papa Roach or Shinedown or whatever. It's a political message. I don't know if he understands that. And that's good music, right? You've got the song Ohio, Neil Young. You've got Sound of Silence. Good songs, political messaging. Some songs that are just overtly political, it doesn't mean we're going to put in our repertoires. Where do I end this? Okay. What I mean to say is 50 million people may have heard Rich Men North of Richmond. And the message resonated with them. And 1 million of them are going to be returning customers who like the music for the music. 49 million liked the words. I am not someone who's going to blast country folk on my Pandora. A little bit, I like acoustic punk and stuff like that, but it doesn't come up in my playlist all that often. He's going to drop precipitously. Not for good or bad reasons, but people will then start to insult him. They're going to say things like, whatever happened to that guy? Homeboy's going to be rich for the rest of his life off of this. People might call him a one-hit wonder. Those are wrong to say. The funny thing about a one-hit wonder, we were listening to, putting on the Ritz yesterday, and everyone made the comment like, man, one-hit wonders. And I'm like, I looked him up. Taco, the performer, actually has a bunch of songs. And he had more than one hit in the US, but he's mostly in Europe. And it's like, there are people who say things of me, like, whatever happened to Tim Pool? Oh, I love this one. There were some journalists who were writing on Twitter, whatever happened to Tim Pool? This was like 5 years ago. They were like, whatever happened to this guy? Big, in the press from, Occupy and Times Square, works for Vice and then gets hired at Fusion. Now, where's he gone? And there was this thread where they were basically saying, like, I disappeared and my arc had ended. At the same time, I had a combined 1 million followers, was making more money than I'd ever made, was bigger than I'd ever been on YouTube, following Joe Rogan and stuff. And they had been oblivious to that fact because they read Time Magazine, saw the news about me. And then once Time Magazine stopped writing about me, of course they would stop writing about me. They said, whatever happened to that guy? And it's like, I'm running a business and I've got more followers, more views, more attention, more press than I've ever gotten, but not where you are. So what'll happen is Oliver Anthony is going to fall out of the limelight and not be so much in the press. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy who knows how to embrace this and turn it into build momentum off of it. He doesn't have to be. But he'll have his fans. Those fans will be with him forever. He'll sell out shows for a long time. And in a year or two, people are going to be like, whatever happened to that guy? And then they're going to find out that he had like 3 new songs that hit Billboard, but like in the rock and, in the country charts and at like number 37, which is tremendous and amazing. And they're going to be like one-hit wonders. And it's going to be like, dude, the dude made it, Anyway, there was a lot to go through. I could talk on this subject for a million years, but I'll wrap it up because this is a long one. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Next segment is coming up at 6 p.m., and I'll see you all then.